What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down how slower wide receivers can be successful with their route running, with the way they approach the game. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I hope it teaches you a few new things. But also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to know what you can do on the field to improve your route running skills on a day-to-day basis, check out that very first link in the description below for our 28-day on-field wide receiver workout plan. You'll get access to over 100+ wide receiver drills with video examples, sets and reps mapped out for you on like a Monday through Sunday schedule. So check out that very first link below. Let's get started. So now, first situation here, this is from Allen Robinson. Now, Allen Robinson's known for, not having one of the fastest combine 40 times. I think he ran a 4.6 something, very similar to Jarvis Landry, Cooper Kupp. But again, he's one of the top route runners in the game, considered one of the top wide receivers in the game. How is he able to do it? And it's by first off, for slower guys, you got to have a high football IQ. You got to know how to run routes, how to sit into coverage, and how to set yourself up to be in a position to get open. And that's what we're going to focus on. So I'm going to play this full speed. So Robinson has this outside shade, like kind of press coverage DB, and he's running a post route. So let's talk about this. When you're running out a post route against outside leverage, right? Or when this DB is outside leverage, let's start there. Number one, if you guys are familiar with this channel, you've heard me talk about it. Why is the DB lined up outside shade? Because he has help inside. He's trying to force you to take the inside release and go right to his help. That's why he's lined up outside shade. He does not want you to go outside because he does not have any help there. So like, let's say, for example, you're an outside wide receiver. You normally line up on the middle of the numbers, and on a certain play, maybe it's like trips right, you cut your split down to where you're closer to the lineman. That's when you can expect an outside leverage look from a DB if he has safety help, because he's expecting an outside route. So if I'm running a route like a post, this DB is completely fine with you just taking off and running the post because he has safety help inside. So what does Robinson do? First off, to get separation from a DB, we have to threaten him where he doesn't want me to go. So he's outside leverage. I want to, quote unquote, attack his leverage, right? I'm going to attack his leverage. I'm going to threaten his leverage to the outside because that's what's going to get him to bite. I'm not relying on my speed right here. So many wide receivers just rely on their speed. They just try to run around guys. They just try to give him one quick move and go. Robinson sets him up, and he actually threatens him to where this guy doesn't want to go. That is a high football IQ play right there. Now, as a slower guy, again, this DB might have good recovery speed. You might have a safety who's got great speed coming over the top and is faster than you. So how do I get separation in a situation like this? And it's about the little details. If you're a slower guy, maybe you lack athleticism. DBs have a leg up on you with athleticism-wise. The details is how you guys can get back on the level playing field. The details of route running, like attacking his leverage, like restacking on a route, and that's what we're going to talk about right now. So yeah, we got this DB to bite. He jumped, but we still took the inside release. And because he was outside shade, what does he have inside? He has help. So if I get that DB to jump, a minor detail that a lot of people don't think about is if I get him to jump and then I just take off and go run, I'm running right into his safety help. So what do you think I have to do? I got to create a bigger window for my quarterback by getting skinny. So I got that DB to jump. And you see how Robinson, when he pushes up on this route, he gets back directly over the top. He angles his stem outside. So when he breaks on this post, guess what? It is a bigger window between the DB, between the safety, and he could actually make that play. The little details, fellas, is how you guys win when you have a lack of athleticism. Because imagine if he would have just broken this thing off and he wouldn't have reassessed vertical. He would have just kind of ran the post, and he's not in the exact spot the quarterback needs him to be in. You're a liability. You're going to either be an asset to the team or you're going to be a liability to the team. And if you run that route and you're lazy with the route, that is not how you're going to be successful, especially when you lack athleticism. Coaches are looking for explosive wide receivers, but also smart wide receivers. They want the explosive guys. Those are the flashy guys. Those are the guys that pass the eye test. But if you're not that guy, you need to bring something else to the table, like details of route running and being able to create separation. Let's play this thing again, full speed. Great job by Robinson attacking the outside shade, pushing back up vertical, and then winning on that post route. So now, this next example is another detail that a lot of wide receivers don't talk about, and that is pairing your releases together. So especially as a slower guy, like you see it a lot, especially when people talk about NFL wide receivers. You like Tyreek Hill, guys who are extremely fast. Everybody loves to talk about, oh, well, that release only worked because he's faster than the DB. That's the only reason why it worked. But so what if you're slower? Then what do you do? How do you get open? And it's about pairing your releases together. If a DB is faster than you, you have to bring something to the table in terms of being a salesman on your route. Now, a DB is a smart dude, especially a DB coach. They study film. They look for tendencies. They look for, okay, what does he like to do in certain situations? So if you're running a slant route, and all the time you do something called a diamond release. So what's a diamond release? That's when you have inside shade, press coverage and you take 3 hard steps on like a 45, we're trying to get this DB to open up and we slip back underneath to win on the slant. Now, let's say you run a lot of slants, say you run a lot of fades. Like you look at a guy like Devontae Adams, for example, on the Packers, or now on the Raiders. But he runs a lot of slants and fades. You didn't see him run a whole lot of anything else, like, maybe digs every now and then, but both of the releases look the same. And that's why he's able to get so much space, because they look the same. So look at what Robinson does right here. He takes off, he does this diamond release. That's the first step, right? That's the second, that's the third. Now he's planning on the third step. So this looks exactly like a diamond release firsthand. And he gives a jab back to the inside and he catches himself. So that jab to the inside, if your hips and your shoulders sell it, what do you think that DB automatically thinks? Oh, that's that diamond release that I've either seen before in the game or I've seen it on film, and he's ready to sit and open up on this thing. And when we can get him to guess like that and not honor his technique, that is where I can win and get some separation on this fade ball or what have you. It could be anything else. So let's talk about another example. Let's say he's running, let's say he's ran like a slide release before, where he slid to the outside, gave a crossover, ran a slant, right? DB's seen it before a couple times. Now maybe I got to go run a dig. So what I could do is I could slide, DB stays inside, just take off and go. You slide, take off. It's about pairing your releases together, fellas, honestly, to just be unpredictable. Because if you're predictable and you're slower, you're not going to get open. That's just fact of the matter. That's just how it's going to be, right? Because a lot of guys rely on their speed, and a lot of guys are extremely quick. They could get away with a lot of stuff off the line simply because they're quick, like taking false steps, like taking a cross, like crossing their feet over. They can get away with that stuff because they're just quicker than the DB. They make a miss real quick. They have quick feet, quick hips, and they can just go. But if you don't bring that to the table, you got to have the right technique, and you got to have the IQ side of things down. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. That's a great job by Robinson, selling that diamond release and then being able to win on that fade route. Now, notice how at the end of that catch, what did he have to do? He came back to the ball. He didn't have a ton of separation, but he still made the play. And that's the last thing that slower wide receivers need to focus on, is finishing the play. Because here's the thing. I can give you a lot of moves to do off the line that are going to work, that are going to keep timing, that are going to keep spacing, that are going to get you an extra step on this DB. But at the end of the day, if that ball's not out perfectly on time, DBs work a lot on recovery speed. They work a lot on, okay, this wide receiver beat me, but I got to open up my hips and recover, and I got to get back to that play. I got to get back to the player. I got to get back to the ball. So sometimes, downfield especially, as a slower guy, you're going to have to make a lot of catches in traffic. So you got to make sure that we do that. If you're a guy who's trying to stand out to a college coach, a high school coach, you're trying to get on a roster, you have to make these big plays downfield if you lack speed. Because they're looking for speed, but they're looking for also big plays. And you got to be able to make big plays. And catching the ball in traffic, finishing the play, is how you do that. So this is a clip from Jarvis Landry. Jarvis Landry is notorious for being one of the slower wide receivers in the game. Ran a slow combine 40 time, and he's still able to have success. And again, like I say slow, I'm talking slow for the NFL. So let's play at full speed. So he gets this little move, jab to the inside, and then he's able to win on this fade route. So this is exactly what we were just talking about, fellas. So watch what he does here. Maybe a couple times, he's done a slide release where he slides to the outside, DB jumps it, and then he runs a slant. So what does he do? He slides to the outside, gives a jab, and we got the DB to kind of hesitate a second, and we got him by about a step. But look at this. This DB's able to recover, because if he's faster than us, chances are he's going to be able to recover in these situations. And Jarvis Landry's not a huge dude. It's not like he's 6'5". People are throwing jump balls to him all the time. It's a mindset finishing the play. So that ball is thrown up high. What does he do? He doesn't have much separation, but he goes up and high points this ball. On the way down, he's ripping this thing away, putting his body between the defender and the ball to make sure that he secures the catch. Those little details, fellas, I'm telling you, when you lack size, when you lack speed, those little details is what can make it an even playing field for you with other wide receivers. So just make sure, fellas, we're emphasizing the details. We know how to pair my routes together, and I'm finishing plays. You're catching over the middle in traffic. You're going to have a DB right on your hip because he's just flat out, he's faster than you. But at the end of the day, you dictate the pace of the route. He's not going to run past you. He's going to be on your hip, but that's why we have to constantly work on finishing the play. Let's keep timing with my release off the line. Let's make sure I do those little things to get some separation, and I have to finish. Let's play it again full speed. Great job by Jarvis making his release look the same, and then winning on that high point catch and ripping that ball, putting his body between the defender and the ball to secure it. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comments section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like a full 4-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.